In the world of modern magic, one man has redefined the art form of illusion. This man has made it his quest to share his illusions with the people of this planet, and in turn bring the magic of the world's people to you. Join us now on a journey through Franz Harary's Magic Planet.
In all the world, there is one place that has more magicians, more illusionists, more sleight-of-hand artists and mind readers than anywhere else. Now, this isn't some third world jungle or even a mystical village. No, it's in the middle of no place, in the middle of the desert. It is, in fact, a city of light. It's right here. It's Las Vegas.
Tonight on Magic Planet, I'll be guiding you through the neon streets and nightclubs of Las Vegas. I've also created a totally new illusion specifically designed for this show. I'm going to try to make the tallest casino in Vegas disappear. Tonight, we're going to meet some legendary magicians. Stick around, because this journey is about to begin.
Las Vegas is a city of magic. And as real as this place is, it is a city that is literally built on an illusion.
There was once a land filled with water and life. Eons passed, and with time this wet mecca dried. From one remaining oasis, the desert gave birth to one of the world's most original and unique cities.
As a kind of tribute, I wanted to create an illusion that would be equal in scale and grandeur to the city of Las Vegas itself. At the far end of the Las Vegas Strip is a menacing 1,200-foot tower. It's the Las Vegas Stratosphere. It is this monolith, the kind of sentinel that literally looms over the entire city. I knew that my illusion would somehow involve this monumental building. So I set off to try to figure out what this illusion was going to be. My first stop was at a small nightclub where all of my magician friends hang out.
The first stop in Las Vegas was a small nightclub where Mr. Harary discovered some very unique styles of close-up magic.
You and I know that there's this amazing subculture of magic in nightclubs and cabarets, but I wanted to kind of get your view on it.
When people think of magic in Las Vegas, they think of the large illusions and the tigers and the lions and the bears. Oh my. But as much fun as that stuff is, it's when you're doing it intimately, right in front of them. There's nothing but me, my force of personality, and these 10 assistants, my little fingers right here, doing all the magic.
As an illusionist, I work with equipment on a massive scale, and honestly, it requires very large venues in order to perform them. Watching guys like Chris Hart and Robert Baxter work really give you a respect of what it takes to be a platform or stage magician, working in very intimate environments.
I am interesting. I do fire in my act, and it's real fire, ironically. People think it's fake magic fire, but it's real fire. And so what happens is my gloves actually start to burn up and deteriorate. So I am in the process of sewing them right before the show. My act used to start off with a artistic manipulation of playing cards, producing them from thin air. And when you're working a comedy club and people are drinking and they introduce you and no one's looking up at you, I realized I had to gather their attention before I did the sophisticated sleight of hand, because I was doing all this amazing magic and nobody was looking. Fire is also energy, and it's very magical, and so you can stand there with flame and feel powerful. It's also a classic magician technique of controlling the elements. You're controlling fire. It's man's first thing was to control fire, so it's very ancient. As cool as magic is, it's also can be just as uninteresting. So manipulating pieces of cardboard, paper, is inherently not interesting unless it has the elements of dramatic build and cool music and cool choreography and a feeling that I can produce them endlessly, that they're unimportant to me.
Which is something I noticed. When you make cards appear, you just throw them away. It's like you don't care.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys, as have you, as soon as they make a card appear, they have to stop what they're doing, pick it up on the ground, and put it back into their pocket as though it's this precious item.
Every card, in my mind, makes an appearance on stage, so he's an individual performer. And so I treat each one, it's like a little back massage, and I give the card literally each and every show. So people don't realize the preparation that I go to. So this is the other technique I do before the show, is I warm up my hands and warm up the cards. And these are called fans, fanning the cards. And the years in practice have come from making a full fan, and you see every index, so when you're on stage, you see a full deck of cards. And I rehearse closing and opening the fan, like so. So if you watch the Joker, you see the Joker.
That's pretty cool. Even from right here, that's pretty cool. We actually agreed that we wouldn't talk about this particular subject, but let me just slip something in. Chris, our Chris Hart here, is actually equally famous for something else as he is as a magician. You know the Addams Family movies, right? You know Thing, the hand from the Addams Family? Well, Chris is Thing. It's your right hand, your left hand? Right hand, right there. That is Thing, right there, live in 3D. Could you do a little thing for us right now?
A thing walk?
Yeah.
This is him excited, nervous, looking around, getting ready for the show.
So you have very large hands.
I do.
What does that all mean? What is that?
Large gloves.
Ah,
That's what
I
that means.
understand. It's just, oh, it's getting ugly. Doug Leffervich and Seth Udoff are the Gamesters. Now, these two talented guys found their inspiration from Saturday morning cartoons. Their show is literally an animation come to life on stage, and each one of them a living, walking, talking cartoon character.
So if your show were a pastry, what would it be?
Wow.
I think you got to go cream filled.
Yeah, like an eclair.
Cream-filled?
Yeah.
An eclair?
Possibly an eclair.
I think it's got to have something special inside. We have Raquel, we have Patty, Julie, Rachel.
That was
Give it a
Raquel,
little
I think.
snap, and look, one card turns over, and that's the money one. That's Michelle. Sicky.
Over there.
Check out, I got 4 cards. I got Michelle, Patty, Julie, Raquel. Watch this. Patty goes face down right here. The next card is Michelle, goes face down right here. Put your other hand on top just like that. Watch. See what happened? Now I have Patty and Michelle. Check it out. You have a good time. You got Rachel and
Julie.
Woo!
It's Las Vegas porno magic.
Let's give it to this gentleman right here. That's me, sir. Enjoy.
How much? Night of fantasy.
Welcome to Las Vegas. I want to do something to the stratosphere. What am I doing to it? What do you think?
Because people recognize the stratosphere and they have the restaurant on top and the point, I think it'd be great to turn it upside down. It was pointing down. I
So
think
it
that'd be
goes
pretty cool.
rank
Yeah, I think
like
that'd
that?
be really cool.
I like to take it and tie it in a knot.
Like a pretzel.
Yeah.
How about the bottom part disappears and the top part stays?
Do you have
Getting
a mirror
bigger.
tall enough for the stratosphere?
I'm just gonna have a small mirror, but really, really close, so it'll be all right. I'm standing outside of the legendary Stardust Hotel and Casino. This is now the home to a dear friend of mine, Rick Thomas. Rick is an unreal illusionist and, more importantly, managed to get his face on the side of the building. Check that out. Rick Thomas is one of the most successful illusionists in the history of Las Vegas. His magic is celebrated worldwide, and still, this has not gone to his head. The greatest illusion you'll probably see in this program is the idea that I'm actually as tall as Rick. Zoom out. Let me kind of clear up reality to you. There we are. That's it. I can say honestly in my heart, you probably got the biggest, coolest, most solid, high-production illusion show on the Strip. That's something to be very proud of. How did that happen? That didn't happen overnight.
No, it happened one illusion at a time. I remember when I was first starting, I borrowed some money from my grandfather because I couldn't afford my first illusion.
Right.
It was a broom suspension. I borrowed it from him and paid him back. It took me like 6 months to pay him back. And that's where it started. And then from then, I started doing cruise ships. I did about 300 cruises, and it just kind of built. It was small shows at first, performing on little platform stages. Also, willing to do anything at any given time to perform a show.
Right. Tell me about your philosophy as a magician, as an artist. When you sit down and decide to create a piece of magic, what's the process?
I start with the music. I always have. The music drives me. I think that makes me that much better of a magician on stage. You know, each of us, when we grow up, we take all the talents we've learned as a child. Everything that we learn really does become who we are. If you take a music class or you play an instrument, you reflect that. After all the experiences you've had in life, you become your own personal, unique individual.
Rick Thomas, he's a really nice guy, and that sense of warmth shows in his magic and on stage.
Coming up, Mr. Harary will attempt to vanish the Stratosphere Casino, the tallest building west of the Mississippi. You're watching Magic Planet, a global odyssey in illusion with your host, Franz Harary. Tonight, we're experiencing the decadence of Las Vegas, from opulent casinos to growling tigers.
Now bear in mind, when we got to Las Vegas, we were in the middle of one of the biggest heat waves on record. 120 degrees in the shade.
Inspired by 2005's most stifling heatwave, Mr. Harary hatched a plan to vanish the stratosphere, the most visible and monolithic structure in Las Vegas.
Imagine the stratosphere. The hotel
That's not
here.
a good drawing. That's not a good drawing. He's a better magician than a designer.
Good enough for this.
Good enough for this.
All right. So here.
I can do a better drawing than
Can you?
Yeah.
And that is our whole world.
first step in analyzing any illusion is to study the location and understand every aspect of its visual environment. The time of day, the temperature, and particularly the point of view are all key elements.
So I'm looking for a little model of the stratosphere that I can use just for some tests and playing with the geometry a little bit. And I thought, what better place to find that than the world's largest gift store, which fantastically is right next to the stratosphere.
The stratosphere presides over Las Vegas like a sentinel. Whether it's day or night, it casts a monumental presence over the city. Although the stratosphere's steel and glass construction was built to withstand even the most devastating earthquake, it might not be enough to withstand the magic of Franz Harary.
This bunch of frames.
In spite of all the glass and extravagance, Vegas is innately magical.
The warmth from the ground itself actually creates a fantastic heat mirage. In fact, when you look at Vegas from far away, the heat that emits from the ground creates this amazing illusion as though Vegas is appearing and disappearing. It would be the heat generated from the desert that would ultimately become the conduit to make this illusion happen. I was determined to do this illusion. How I was going to do it was another story. So that's the airport right over there, and I'm thinking what might be kind of cool if we're lucky is once the shaft of this tower has become invisible, if we're lucky to have an airplane pass through that space that would have been occupied by the tower. Now this bird actually belongs to a young magician named Darcy Oak, who, by the way, will be, without question, the next great thing in magic. Check it out for yourself.
know what? He's going to make this.
Designing an illusion is always a collaborative process, and Mr. Harary often seeks the input from his creative team.
All right, so I'm going to leave this with you, and we're out of here. We got to cruise.
Joaquin Ayala, a talented magician himself, contributed his engineering skills to the Stratosphere project.
Ayala, the JC James of magic.
And together, he and Mr. Harary built the elaborate mechanism that would be the key to the illusion.
Never do this without goggles. That's bad. You're always in my way. You have to wear goggles or a hat. Never work without gloves, okay? Oh! It's nothing, it's magic, it's nothing. I got you. So this is John Stutz. John, we are going to make the Stratosphere Tower disappear. Do you believe that?
I don't believe it.
I
just make sure I don't park near there. I don't want to lose my car.
Right.
Wow, this little thing right here is going to make that whole tower disappear?
It's this little thing and the great talent of Franz Harary. Franz Harary. Remember that? Franz Harary. Okay, I need to go back to work. Bye. Where's my hat? Where's my helmet? Franz Harary, make it disappear!
Coming up, Mr. Harary will attempt to vanish the Stratosphere Casino, the tallest building west of the Mississippi. You're watching Magic Planet, a global odyssey in illusion with your host, Franz Harary. Tonight, we're experiencing the decadence of Las Vegas, from opulent casinos to growling tigers.
If you're a magician and you're talking about magic in Las Vegas,
come on,
you've got to be talking about Gary Darwin.
It's feed time. Come on over here. Well, we'll back up and see if they want to fly down. I try to feed the cats real good so they don't feed on the birds. But let's see if they want to come down. Let's see how hungry they are. Here they come. Okay, good. But these pigeons can find their way back. And you know what the secret is?
What is that?
There's a little metallic substance behind the retina of their eyeball. It's the only animal that has that.
Gary Darwin has created a living museum to our art form. He has brought together unbelievable memorabilia along with actual illusions and magic used by some of the greatest magicians of our time.
Is the hair good? Okay, good.
This is actually a pretty cool trick.
Oh!
Got stuck in the middle
Yeah, I
there.
like that. So as we look around, it's all very nostalgic. Some of these tricks are a lot older than me. It's a little sleight of hand now. And then you change them. Remember that one?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Isn't that one of the more ingenious drawer boxes?
Okay. And then again, magic words.
And then we say the magic words, hocus pocus videocus.
Lovely. And let a bird appear. A dove, a beautiful dove, appears inside the box. Looks pretty good.
This is your new stuffed dove.
Is it?
Fly away now. Oh, don't even know how to fly.
We'll just put that back in there. Okay.
Grab the center. Now when you shake it, there's your misdirection. And just come up in the center. Now you can stroke this. It appears to start. You can have your bird cage in there. And now we're going to reach underneath it, find the little gimmicks in. Don't burn. Hey!
Darwin's Match Production.
Yeah,
you see that?
I put a name on it.
I haven't done this for about 20 years also. Ta-da! Thank you.
You do this, you've got to make a knot with one move. Here we go. And I think that's the same technique you use.
Although you did it better than I did.
Let me find something else here.
I can't win here. It's not going to happen. But I got this.
Right here. Because what I do is just look at anything and figure, well, how can we do it? Now, you know what's really strong? Have you seen those one?
Close that up. Watch. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's nice.
Come around to the side. Boom.
if you're thirsty during the. There we go, slow and easy. A little slower, just cover that right up there. God, it looks great. Magic.
You know, as I leave this place, I'm not sure what will stay with me the most, the magic or the pigeons. There are a handful of people in magic that actually continue to change and evolve the art of magic. One of those people is Jeff McBride. Now, Jeff is one of the most prolific, talented magicians of our times, but even more so, as innovator and engineer, he continues to push not only the art, but the craft of magic forward.
What I found is that magic is an extraordinary way to travel the world. It's an international language that transcends all cultural boundaries, all language boundaries. And so by keeping my show primarily visual and theatrical, it's been able to take me all over the world. Vegas is a return to the place where magic began. Vegas is the last bastion of gargantuan pagan expressionism. You have these temples. You have ancient Rome, where it's filled with the ancient gods. You have pyramids, and there's all of these mythologies that people can enter a magical world of make-believe and release their attachments to the material world to the extent of dropping their wallets onto a table and walking away and liberating themselves from their money.
In 20 years, there have got to be, that I can think of, maybe 100 magicians who have come and gone, and yet you've survived.
My show is about transformation and about change, because magic reminds us that everything changes, and I use masks as metaphor to to represent change. So trends are constantly changing, people are constantly changing, and if you get stuck in the past, you die. So everything's about growing and changing, and my show helps people remember that.
You told me years ago how people have always been drawn to the light, drawn to the fire, and come around the fire to create magic.
Mm-hmm.
And you've used Vegas allegorically.
Well, yeah, where there's light, there's magic. Where there's light, magic has a way of waking us up, illuminating us. Where there's light, there's magic, and in Las Vegas, there's more light per square inch than anywhere else in the world. That also leads to more magic than anywhere else in the world. There's more magic here than anywhere else in the world. People have been doing magic around fire since the dawn of time. When the sun goes down, people gather around the fire to share their stories of the day, really.
Throughout history, we have been compelled to tell stories, to communicate the human experience.
Magic is a form of storytelling. The shaman, the medicine man, the oracle, these are people who have used magic to communicate the myth that lives in the collective unconscious.
Magic is the art of transformation, and people get reminded of that at a magic show. It's a relatively safe place to witness horrors. And they realize that it's just an illusion. And on a deeper level, if that's just an illusion, maybe really death is really just an illusion too. And by going to the magic show, we're reminded that all of these things that we think are limitations on our life are actually illusions.
Perhaps we have power far beyond what we believe. In every culture, with the help of magical storytelling, histories have been written and legends have been created.
All right, come on close to the screen. Come on right up close to the TV screen. All right, good. Now, take your finger, hold it up in the air, and place it on the screen. Place it on one of these colored stones. Go ahead and place your finger on that stone now. All right, it's on one of the colored stones. Good. From that colored stone, move your finger from side to side, stopping it on the closest golden stone. Go ahead and do it now. Move from side to side, stopping your finger on the closest golden stone. And put your finger right there. Okay? Now, with your finger on that gold stone, move your finger up or down, stopping it on the closest colored stone. Go ahead, do it now. Move your finger up or down and place it on the closest colored stone. Have you done that? All right, good. Keep your finger right there on that colored stone. Now we're going to do it one more time. This time, move your finger down or to the left, stopping it on the closest golden stone. All right? So down or to the left, stopping it on the closest golden stone. Down or to the left. Got it? All right, your finger's on that golden stone? Good. Now remember that golden stone. Remember it. That's your stone. It's a magic stone. And we're gonna do a little magic with it right now. Steve? Franz. I have no idea where I am. No, just come and get me. All right, see ya. Hey!
Hey!
You made it.
Oh, finally.
I appreciate this. You got the stuff?
I got it.
Let's go for it. Bring it up. All right, you remember how to do this?
Yeah.
Michelle knows we got a limo?
It's gonna be good.
Perfect. Here we go. It's magic time. Now. Very nice.
I find that developing an illusion is always a collaborative process, and I like to look for the experience and advice of my contemporaries.
Watch that LED right there. See now? Look at that. Boom. How's that for magic, huh? LED right out of the limo into my hands. You can take it, you can... Here's my favorite. Whoa! Oh, get rid of that one.
I want to do something with the Stratosphere Tower. What do you think? What would be cool to do?
I
Something
think
I
if you
haven't done
took
before.
the disc that's at the top of the tower and slid it down the pole. I'm thinking the stockholders would like it.
Let me work on that. Let me think about that.
All right. Look at all those people that want to see us. That's
at that.
amazing. They're all waiting for us.
They don't know who we are, but we're in a limo, so we got to be somebody. Where's Michelle?
In every city, there are specific places that provide optical effects that can be integrated into the project.
We call these phenomena mirages or geophysical anomalies. I call it magic, and it's my intent to repackage it and show it to the world.
Finding the actual location for the placement of the cameras proved challenging. Not only would they need to see the stratosphere in its entirety, but the sun needed to be in a very precise location in relation to the building. They would also shoot over a large expanse of pavement in order to make use of the rising heat.
Sometimes the most perfect location isn't always the most glamorous.
In this case, the Harary team lucked out. Not only did this parking lot offer the perfect optical alignment with the stratosphere, but it provided the cameras with one of the most opulent backdrops found in Las Vegas, Sal's Furniture Warehouse.
So my thinking was that we would just set up in this mini mall and people would just come by and we would just have an instant audience. But it's 120 degrees today in Las Vegas. There's nobody. So we're going with plan B. We're going to go into Sal's Furniture and see if we can convince Sal's employees to come out and be our audience. Hey, boy, do I have an opportunity for you. Can you come out with us? I'm going to show you a magic trick out. Not going to happen? All right. Come on out.
Coming up, Mr. Harary will attempt to vanish the Stratosphere Casino. If you're just tuning in, this is Magic Planet, a showcase of the world's most astounding illusions with your host, Franz Harary. what are the unspoken messages found in the metaphors of magic?
Magic says to us, wake up. Things are not always what they seem to be. Magic touches something very deep in us. On the psychological level, magic says, look, the world is filled with surprises. The hat was empty, and now there's a rabbit in it.
Magic as an art form allows us to rethink our world and maybe to remove some of the boundaries that we've placed on our world.
Magic kind of shakes up our idea of what is possible and what's impossible.
If, while watching an illusion, our senses deceive us, then isn't it possible that in a broader sense, what we believe is reality is ultimately a deception in some way?
Is it possible that the world in which we live in every day, our true reality, is also an illusion?
I suppose the profoundest message of magic, Franz, is that the world, the universe, is a deeply mysterious place. And there's a lot we don't know.
We've just learned that I think 98% of the universe is dark matter, which just means we don't know. I heard it equated to a blind man touching the tail of an elephant and saying, well, this is the elephant. It's a magical universe that we live in. 90% of anything we don't know about yet, because you can fill that in with your imagination. You can create your own universe, and that is what magic gives us.
Magic is about transformation. Each of us wants our lives transformed. You know, you take a trick like the cut rope trick, where the magician cuts a piece of rope up and then puts it back together again. What's that about? On this metaphoric level, the message is that that which is broken can be restored. And what's broken? Me, you, we're all broken. And magic says, hello, the brokenness can be healed.
Well, I got an audience from Sal's Furniture. We're gonna do some magic for these guys.
Few illusionists in the world spend as much creative time devoted to an illusion as Franz Harary. Isolating the perfect location was no easy feat.
It really became, as all these things are, a game of figuring out where the audience is going to be.
It's the day of the illusion, and after hours of tedious setup, the Harary crew felt confident about their task, with a few exceptions.
There's a heat warning here in Vegas today, and they said on the news this morning that unless it's absolutely necessary, under no circumstances should you be outside for prolonged periods of time. Time to do some magic. All right. Can you see that?